right, hello everybody. This is Alyssa from Minkarts and Crafts and the Susu right here. Here's our sushi tail. And today we are going to go ahead and we are going to figure out what colors I am going to swap out for this canvas. So this is going to be Kitchen Cats. This is from this is a Liubka, and this is one of them that I want to do for, this is from Diamond Art Club. This is what I want to do for our Legendary Liubka 2026 DP along. So I'm going to open this canvas. We're going to take it out. We're going to kind of pull out all of the, I find it easier to do stuff like this with the canvases already kit up. It's just so much easier to see everything that you want to swap out. But we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to kind of list out the drills and see, which actually I think going off of here will give me a good idea of what colors I need to swap out for it. And we're going to utilize this, and we're going to go ahead and utilize this right here. This is from Art Dot. It's basically DMC. So you can see all of the colors are basically going to fall primarily, I think, right over here in this column. And then I need to decide which colors I want to swap and do instead. Do I want to do like a pink background, or do I want to go with like a purple? Ooh, I could do purples, or I could go with like these teal colors. There's a variety that I could do, but basically this is why like I pulled out this one, because as you can see, it goes by color family. So that way I can see as they kind of like go together to be able to tell and swap things out. So we're going to go ahead and take, we're going to write out all of the colors that we have. This will be my first time ever doing this, so I have no idea how this is going to go. And we will see when I actually work on the canvas in April, but I figured that right now is the time to be pulling everything out to plan and go from here. So this is like, I need to trim this off. What canvas is this? This is for the Leviathan. Okay. This is my enhancements for Leviathan. So normally what I do is I put them on a piece of paper, and then I like literally just trim it like this. And that way I just have that one little piece of paper instead of, so I make use of like the whole page. So now I can put this back on my easel with the canvas. So we're going to take a look right here. First, I need to figure out what all of the colors are. And we're going to go off of this side over here where we have all of our colors. So we've got 7, which is going to be 740. We have 8, which is 741. And then we have 743. These are going to be the colors I want to swap out. 744. So they're very, very close color family wise. They're like the numbers that are right next to each other. And then we have 745. And then we have an H, which is 3823. Where does that one fall? In here. Okay, that's that really, really bright portion right there. And then our last one is J, which is an AB 972. So I can actually look at this and I can say, what do I want to enhance on here? And what do I want to just swap out? I'm going to swap colors, but I'm also going to plan some enhancements while we're at it. Mostly because, Carcass, get your little body out of my window. You do not need to stick. I have the really wide, like, look at these toes. Look at these little toes. Choop, 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 choop. There's little paws. But I have these really wide window slats for my, my blinds. And Sushi's head, they're like the 2-inch blinds. So of course that means that like a little sushi head fits in between them. So she always tries to stick her head in between the blind, the slats of the blinds of this window, when the window over there on that side, I keep lifted up so that the girls can stand in the windowsill. But no, that doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to come over here, and I'm going to kind of get an idea of where they fall on this spectrum right here. Okay, so we've got our... let's see here. Okay, so we have 972, which is right here, kind of a mid-tone. So I'm going to annotate that is like a mid. We're going to put that one's number 9. And then we have 3823, which is a very pale color, which is this one right here. That one's going to be pale, and it's light. And that one's number, to make it easier for me to find, that's 19. Then we have 745, which you can see here is our 740s. So it goes lightest, light to dark right here. And our 745 is going to be 10. That one's going to be 11. 12, 13, well, 741 is 14, and 740 is 15, so darkest to brightest. So very close together family-wise, and now I have to decide what color palette I want to go with for this, to do these swaps, and kind of go from there. So I was originally thinking I was going to do some blues for it, but I'm actually like, you know what, maybe I do these purples. That might be kind of fun to do them in purples, as opposed to the blues, or I could do the blues. It's so hard to decide. Maybe the teals. There's so many decision points on this. It's definitely not going to be over here on this color palette. I like the colors over here. I could also do pinks as well. Do a super, super pale pink, for part of it, which I do love pinks. So I may change this one to pinks instead of the yellows. But I don't know, decisions. Okay. This is where I have to decide. I have to decide, what do I want to do? Because the grays can stay because they're gray, but it's all of this other stuff that is going to be changed. So what do I want to do? Here's the decision point. Which color palette am I going to go with? Am I going with pinks? Am I going with purples? Or am I going with like blue greens? Decisions, Alyssa, decisions. Okay, let's see. It's so hard to decide. This is like, because this will be the end. Ooh, I feel like there's a lot more variety in the pinks, but the purples would be fun. I don't know. This is the hard part. What do I want to do? I was originally planning blue, so I feel like I should go with the blues and teals because that was what my original thought was. So I feel like I should go with these for these pale colors. Hi, Mo. I see your paw. I see you. You're cute. She's like, nope, put my paw back. Your cuteness, Momo. Okay, so these are our yellows. I'm thinking, let's see, these are yellows. Let's go with, because we could easily do like this stream of colors here, but I do like these ones over here as well. So kind of like these down colors right there, and then right into here. Because I've seen somebody do it with the blues. So I'm kind of like, well, maybe I want to do something different than what I've seen done. So maybe I'll come over here and do like the purples would be really pretty, but I feel like the pinks are calling my name as well, but I'm like, but purples would be different here. Do I need to move my iPad? Here you go. There's your box. You can go in your box. She's like, I was just passing through, Mom. I didn't actually want it in my box. Okay. Decision point. I'm like perseverating on this. I'm like, now I have to decide. Okay, we're just going to go with blues. That was my first thing I was going to do with this, so we're going to stick with the blues, even though, like, I've literally been staring at this thing for way too long. Apparently, I have no idea where this came from. Oh, yeah, that's because I was like, why am I finding floss on my floor? Oh, yes, that's from one of the cross stitches I was doing. Okay, so we're going to go with blues. That was my original inclination, so I'm going to stick with that and not change my mind and go with, like, pinks. I literally sat here and stared at the canvas for a solid 5 minutes and stared at the colors for, like, a solid 5 minutes, and then I was like, I can't decide. Okay, my decision, since I can't decide, is we're going with blue, which was my original thought. Okay, so first up, I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to see which colors on here I would want to enhance. So we already know that J is an AB. That's this one right here. This is already an AB, so that one's going to stay an AB. We're going to write out what I want the new color symbols to be. We're just going to write the symbols right here, H and J. J is going to be an AB. We're going to go with blues. So I'm going to write underneath here that we want blues. So I want J, which is this bright color we see throughout there and accenting there, to be an AB. Also looking at this, I think I want 7, which is this bright orange right here. I would like that one to end up being an AB, or the 7 in there as a nice bright AB. With its darkness, I think that would look great. And then the other one that I think I want to do as, let's see, what other specials do I want on top of that? So as we look, I'm thinking like the H, I think needs to be a fairy dust, or it'll end up being a pixie dust, but the H needs to be a dust drill for that really bright area that we're getting in there. And we're going to do, I think I'm going to also do the C in here. I want to do C in, this one is going to be the pot is going to be also a dust drill for the C color. And then 8 is also going to be in the pot, is going to be in A, B. I think it's only really down into this area, but I want those to be ABs down there as well. And then we'll make the C's down here be a dust for that like accent that it'll give. And I'm just gonna go simple. I'm gonna do just those ones there, leave the rest where it's just the AB in the background right up there. I think this is one that doesn't need a ton of enhancements for it because it does already have a couple of the grays that are dust drills. And it does have the white that's an AB. So I think we'll go with that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I basically will have the regular, and then I will also be swapping some of these out as well. So I think 7 is only over here anyways. So that's going to be the pot. So 8 will also be the pot. It's really just the C that I'm going to do in both. Okay, so we're going to look at this and see. And if we need to, we can pull out colors to see an idea, but that's why we have this, so I don't have to pull that out. So as we look at this, let's start with our very lightest color that we have. So we have our 3823, this yellowish tone here, which if we look at where it is on the canvas is this one right here. That's going to be this accent point that I want to make into a dust drill. So that one needs to be a very pale accent. And we're going to go with blues. And looking at these blues, I'm thinking I could either go with a 747. That one is a nice light color right here. Or I could do this 3756. And I think I'm leaning towards, let me see where this falls. That one's kind of like a light, but not ridiculously light. So maybe I'll go with, but I want it to be the lightest of all of the shades that we do. So I'm thinking 3756 for here. That's the one that I'm going to go with. I think that one is a nice, would go with a variety of things. So this is going to be 3756 for that one. So we have one color chosen. So now we have our J972, which is a pretty, let's see, that's number 9. So that one's a kind of like a mid-ish dark tone right here. So you can see how we have the lights down below on these other ones that we're going to be changing out right here. But then we have that one as a slightly different shade. So it's more of a darkish, but not super darkish, if that makes sense. So, well, it might be easier to go with like our fact that we have a 740, 41, 43, 44, and 45. So 40, 41, 43, 44, and 45. So light, slightly darker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from light to dark. So now I need to do like a shade of like 5 tones over here that I could do that gradation with, which basically I'll probably just pick like the 5 of them in a row as opposed to skipping like the 742. Might pick like 5 in a row, and I have to, so this is where I get to decide which color palette in here do I want to go with. Do I want to just go simple and go here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or really be 1, 2, because I'm skipping, so that would be like, I'm skipping 742, so I skip the third one. So I could do where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go with that right there. I could do that spread, or if I really wanted to, I could come over here and go with like a completely different shade pattern, but I'm kind of feeling like I should probably stick with some of these ones instead. I don't know that I want to go as vibrant as this, but I could pick, and I like how these are kind of like a nice family where they're relatively close together in shades. So now this is where I get to decide from here, because we got that as our very lightest tone, but I also really like this spread of colors here. I kind of like these tones. So 162 as the lightest. So maybe we'll do here, this one will be a 162, and that one will be our check mark. So these check marks that we see right here, which is still the 162 is slightly darker than our 3756, which is what we need, because you can see that 745 is just slightly darker than 3823 right there. So we're going to do that. So we've got 2 colors down. And now we're going to kind of progress. So we were at that 745 that I've now replaced 744. So we went from light, next shade down, 744. So that we could easily go with a 827 for that one. If I didn't like that shade, I could always like go with one of these other colors, but I think I kind of like that accent of it. And that's going to be symbol C. So that's going to be a good chunk of the background that I'm seeing in here for that one. So I kind of like that as a good background color instead of this kind of creamy color there. So we're going to go with 827. Like I said, I could also, if I didn't like this shade, I could go with a 3841 instead, which actually I might do that because I feel like this shade of blue is too off compared to this. I feel like this one would be a good in between because it's going to be such a big area. I'm going to put that as a question mark and I'll come back to it. So we're going to put 827 slash 3841 so I can decide which one I want to do. And then we had our 743, which is going to be our carrot, which is this darker shade right in here. So we did 747, well, we did 745, 744, 743 is a pretty good darkish tone. So if we're over here, 162, 813, that one would totally work for that one there. For an 843, or 813, sorry, 813, I'm happy with that one. And then they skipped the 742 and went to 41 and 40 for these next two. So that's something that we could do, or we could say nope, which these are very, 826 and 825 are extremely similar color palette wise. And I feel like that's not enough variation between the two. So I'm going to pick one of these ones and then go with the darker shade instead of that dark orange. And that darker shade is going to end up being, let's see, so that's 740. And so those are going to be the ones that are ABs right down here, because I'm not seeing those anywhere else. So, because really our background is going to be those lighter colors that we just went, and I'll have to pick the AB color. So these last two kind of were similar color family, but went down here. Okay, so this is why it's nice to have this to see, because if it was going up here, that'd be different. But I'm thinking we're leaning towards like a 824 and like 826. One of these ones right in here instead of the 41 and 40, these bright oranges here. So I could do those, but then I could also go completely like off the reservation. I could go completely, you know, mix it up and go with something like in this color palette, since it's going to be down here, but it still needs to blend with the other colors I have up there. So that's kind of the planning point. Or I just go, because there can be something really pretty about some dark ABs. So let's see, the 827, and we have 162, 827, 813, which actually I'm thinking I like the 162, maybe this 3841 and the 813 for back here. I think those go great. Okay, we are back. So there was a little bit of like a pause for like an hour or two, because my phone rang while I was filming, and I have to try to remember where I left off. My phone rang while I was filming, and it was my mom calling me. I almost didn't answer, but I'm glad I did, because she was like, "Hey, can you come unlock the door? We're here." And I'm like, "What do you mean you're here?" She's like, "Yeah, we're here." So they had to come over to pick something up over here. So in the process, they stopped here, and I decluttered some stuff to my mom that she took for organization and crafting supplies, and then my dad picked up a couple things for me, and then we went to food. We just got back from food. They're gonna go continue doing the errands that they needed to do over here, and now I can come back and finish this. Oh, I need to turn on the other lights, because that's actually what I had on. And not this one, because this one will give us a glare. All right, so anyways, now we are going to go ahead and continue. I have to remember where I left off on here. So we had plotted out, let's see, let me put my glasses on so I can see. So we had plotted out our H, we had done our check mark 162, either 827 or 3841. I'll have to look at it a little bit more closely and see which ones I want. The 813, and then we're picking our colors for these darks to replace 740 and 741, which 740 and 741 are these two dark ones right here. So the equivalent blues, I could do, you know, an 820, like 826 and 824. I could do those two, but they're very close together. Or I could just go, you know, completely hog wild and go with, you know, more of these shades, which I think would still look good, because I had 162 here, and then I could go into like here and here, these two colors, which I think would be, I do kind of like that, because those are a little bit brighter, and I think those would look good with these three colors here. To add these two, I'd have to decide if I want one or both, like which two I want to go with. I'll probably do, because I could just do 995 and 996. I may actually do that, 995, 996, because I think those are close color family wise, but still give enough of a distinction. And I think those would look good with these colors that I picked up here. I still have to decide if I want to use this one or that one. I'll look at that more closely in a minute, but let me go ahead and write out these. I am apparently on the struggle bus with this video today. So I was making good progress filming it, and apparently like my screen just shifted and it kind of like blocked the viewpoint, and there was like this big old bar across the side of the screen. So I think we were at where I had picked out the 996. I had come down here, picked out 996 and 995 for 7 and 8, which are these two colors right here. 995, 996 to be these ones right here and there, those two dark ones. And then as I was looking, I was like, okay, the next step I needed to pick out my AB. So I was looking, and I want the AB that goes up here to be something that replaces 972. And if we come over here, 972 is this shade, which is really kind of like, it's going to, the 972 is the AB, and it's going to go near these three colors here. So it's kind of like a nice gradation from there, but not super dark. And I'm like, okay, if I have basically these three colors, I'm still undecided on this one. But if I basically have these three colors here, and then I'm going to do these two down here for this area, I'm like, what do I want to do for the AB? And I'm like, you know, looking at those, I feel like the 996 is a good gradation. So I went ahead and I made 996 my AB tone right up here. That's going to be the J symbol that we have as a marking those points. And then I decided to do 3843 as symbol 8. So it's going to be the 995 and 3843 together in here as those dark tones. And then I'll use the 996 as my AB up into here, which is also down in here. So I decided on that, and now that I've gone over what I had to refilm, so, you know, on the plus side, it didn't take nearly as long. So now we're going to take a look and see. I do not have 162, but it's bothering me. Like, this is too far away to compare, and I want to see how this goes as an in-between for replace it if it's too close in shade to 813, and it might be a little too close, because this is a 3841, which is basically this one right here. Basically dye lots will be slightly different, but that one's essentially that one, and I'm gonna have to compare it to right here. Do I think that it's different enough? Because you want it to blend, but I don't want it to be which I might choose this one. I'm going to bring it down so you guys can see, and I will buy the drills for this. Instead of using my spares, I'll just buy from a company. Yeah, I think that I like the color blend of that better. What is 3840? What color is this? Where does this one fall on the spectrum for a 3840? Now I'm curious. Where is it? It's probably in here somewhere. Well, of course it's in here somewhere, but it's probably in... Okay, so that one's right up top right there. I'm like, okay, where does this one fall on the spectrum of it? Colors. Let me pull out a couple drills and see, because I may go completely different and compare. I want to see if this is enough of a difference. Because the ones that I was pulling and replacing are ones that are like one color shade off from each other over here with the 740s. Because we had the 40, 41, 43, 44, and 45. So they're only like one shade off. So that's something I don't have to worry about. Okay, so the 813 is close enough to the 3840. I could easily do the 813. Let me see which one. So we're going to come down so you guys can see that a little bit better, and turn on the light so you can see it. So we have, what I'm looking at is right here. We're looking right here. Because what I was thinking about was, I know I'm going to use this 162 and this 813, but I'm like, I don't know if I care for that shade, and if I don't know that it necessarily blends well going from the 813. I don't know if it necessarily blends well going from here to here using the 827 in the middle. But then I'm like, let me look back at here, because we're going from a 45, 44, and 43. Those are the three I'm replacing. And I want them to be a nice gradation. So I was like, well, maybe I use this color instead of this color. So it's a very subtle difference. I think it would be fine either way, but I am leaning more towards doing this middle tone. I think I like the middle tone better. Now I need to see, okay, which one shows up more and has a bigger difference between the colors. to see, okay, which one of these do I want to go with? Because I don't think it really matters. So I could do either. Okay, there's enough of a difference between the two. I could still stick with the 813, but I think I am going to go with this 3841 instead of 827 as my mid-tone. I feel like it'll just blend a little bit better as like similar color families. So we're going to do 3841. All right, so we have decided on our colors. So now that I have decided on my colors, I'm going to take care of these like random 3 drills that I pulled out. So now I am going to go shopping for drills, and this is perfect timing because I've actually been needing to do, I have a couple enhancements that I need to get more of for the canvas that I'm working on, because I was working off of my hoard, my spare drill and my special drills hoard, and there's a couple special drills that I need to buy more of for this canvas I'm working on, mostly being these crystal confetti, which I am a lover of crystal confetti. I think crystal confetti is amazing. Like this one, I don't have enough of to finish the canvas. This one, I do, but I will buy more of it because I do love it. But I do love crystal confettis. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out my iPad and we're going to take a look at DP with Sparklers website. And then we're also, because I do need to buy some enhancements, and then Diamond Drills USA, because that's where I'm going to buy the regular drills that I need for this. So we're going to do that and we will be right back with our iPad. So let me turn that off. So we need the cheat sheet. Okay. So this is DP with Sparklers, has this enhancement cheat sheet, and this is something that you can get from their Facebook page. I use this to pick out my drills. So we've got 5 colors that we would need to do, because it's not necessarily a 1-for-1 swap when we're talking enhancements. So we have 995 and 996 as like the main ones. We're going to jump to this page. So 995, if I want to do round drills and I want to go with an AB, let me see what they recommend as a good AB replacement. I just want straight AB. They may not actually have one. Those are crystal ABs. Maybe I end up with something a little bit different. Let me see. 995 is the one that I was going to be doing. Where did I put that? Where did I write that down? Oh, right there. So that was going to be the bright one. So I could do, for that one, for the symbol 7, I could do a crystal AB for that one, because I do like crystal ABs. I do like the look of a crystal AB. Yeah, because their 996 AB is a closer match. Their 995 AB is a closer match to color 996. So that would be why. And that's why you have to use this as like, because the colors are not necessarily a good match per se. So I could use a crystal AB 995 or a crystal AB 796. But I'm going to do that because I do like the crystal ABs. 796 or 995. And then we have this one would be just AB 995 for that one. And then we have 37s. So let's go to the 3700s. I know that's like a whooshing through. So we want 3756. So 3756, I wanted it to be a dust drill. So that one I can do Pixie Dust 775 or 3756. Either or works. So that's going to be Pixie Dust 775 or 3756. And I usually write down the 2 options because sometimes things are out of stock. And then we have 3841 and 3843. So we'll go to the next colors. And let's see, those are going to be in our 3841, which I wanted it to be a dust drill. So, and that would be one where I could use either 3325 or 3841 Pixie Dust. So we're good on that one. And then our 3843 color wise, I want an AB for that one. So it looks like that is another one that would end up being more of a crystal AB as opposed to a regular AB. So let's see. So that would be 3843 for down here in the pot, which I'm fine with that one being a crystal AB along with that one. So that would be fine, kind of fun, because both of those would end up being crystal ABs. So let's see. That one is 3843. We're going to go with either a crystal AB 995 or a crystal AB 996. And this one I already, let's see, 3843 is very similar to the 995 tone apparently in here. but I want it to be an AB, so let me look. Let's see. So we're going to do a crystal AB 996 instead of the 3843, which was that color right there. So yeah, we'll go with that crystal AB 996 because crystal AB 995 is darker and I want that one to be darker. So we're going to do that for our two colors down here in our pot that you guys can't see that I have covered. So these are going to be the colors that I'm going to get off of DPU Sparklers. So now I'm going to swipe back over to their website. In this one, I'm going to do, if I type in crystal AB 796. So this is where you can see here's the round crystal AB. I usually just do it this way because it's faster. This is going to show you that it's like this nice bright color. I will figure out the exact quantities. I will look at the baggies and see what I need quantity wise. If I need to buy like more than one bag, but I will figure it because there's might be some colors that I have to buy more than one bag, but I'm going to do that once I've kind of added them to my cart and then I can enhance my cart. So I'm going to put that one in my cart just so I can compare colors. And then I'm going to pull up crystal AB 996, crystal AB 995 is the next one. And I want rounds for this one. So once it thinks, and we've got this one right here, our round crystal AB. Okay, so I will compare and kind of get an idea of which two I like better. I'm thinking because this is replacing 995, I might go with the 796 because it's a little bit darker for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a darker tone than this one, but we'll see. I may end up just ordering both and then once they arrive in, kind of deciding from there. Sometimes I do that. And then I also want crystal AB 996. Crystal AB 996. So we've done those two. Now we're looking at round crystal AB 996. And we're going to add this one. Oh, that one. See, that one is out. Crystal AB 996 is out. So I need, you can see that when it's out of stock, so that's when I'm going to come back over to here. And I got to go back to 3843. So I could use either crystal AB 995 or crystal AB 996. Or, so that's when I like to have multiple options. So in that case, if I'm going to use I can use 796 for one of them and then 995 for the other. Since the 996 is going to be there. So I will just look and say, okay, these are the two colors because one is lighter. The 8 should be lighter. So I've already got that in my cart. So we're going to go ahead and swap back over since they're out of this one. So I will use the 995, which was a lighter tone, for the 3843, what I was thinking I was going to do for that one. So that one's going to end up being a 995 and that one's going to end up being this one. And this is going to be 995. It seems confusing as all get out, but you know, this is how I work and how I look things up. And then we want a B995. I want round AB995. And this one you can see there's our straight AB. We're gonna add that one to the cart. Hi Mo. What? Oh, do you have a toy in your mouth? And now we're gonna do a Pixie 3841. Oh, I have to give this, I thought I spaced it. 38, I thought I spaced you. Space, 3841. She just brought me her spring. So round Pixie 3841, which is going to be a pale tone, which we want as a pale tone. That's a nice one. We're going to add this one in and then we're going to compare. And now we're also going to look at the 3325 Pixie 3325 so I can decide which one I want. Okay, very similar tones for that one. And then 3756. Pixie 3756. Round Pixie 3756. Yes, you can see how that one is significantly lighter. So we're going to put that one in the cart. Mo, stop yelling. You're caterwauling. Yes, you. And this one's going to be 775. So this is the slow part, is adding them all to the cart. I find the quickest way is doing this right here, where I'm kind of like subbing them in, and I will compare them. A lot of times I'll just buy both just because I'm going to use the drills anyways. So now if we look at what I have in here, these are very similar shades. The 775 and 3756 could be an either or, and then I've got the 3325 and 3841, which are an either or. And then I have the these other ones where I have the AB Perfect, and then here I'm going to use the Crystal AB 995 as my lighter tone, and then my Crystal AB 796 is the darker tone. So that's going to be here and here. That's what I'm replacing it with. And I'll have to decide for the 3841 and the 3756, whatever one is lightest. So, oh, because that's going to go in the pot. So I only need one bag of that for the pot. So I could easily, because I don't have any H down there, so it doesn't really matter. I could do 3756 and then do the 3756, which is going to go in that one. And then the 3841. Yeah. So you can see these are very pale colors, so I will kind of like go off of it. All right, so that is what we have for DP with sparklers. Those are the ones that I'm going to do. I have a few more I'm going to add to my cart to purchase, but now I'm going to come over and look at Diamond Drills USA because I need some drills from over here. And so this is diamonddrillsusa.com. I want round ones, and I want 162, 813, and 3841. So 162, we're going to come over here. And that one is going to be this color right here. And let's see, how many do I need? That's going to be the thing. It's only sold in those tiny little 200 drill packs, which are those annoying ones there. So I will have to purchase more. I need to kind of get an idea and weigh these to see. So the round drills are in 1 gram bags, which is approximately 200 drills. And now I need to come over here and pull out the colors I'm replacing it with, or that I'm replacing these ones with. And for right now, I'm just going to add that to my cart because then I can measure out what I need. I know with the specials, I'll be fine with like 1 bag of each of the special drills from DP with Sparklers because I kind of have an idea of like how much they typically have. So now I'm going to go back to the round DMCs. So we've got that one in the cart. We're going to do 813. So we're going to come over here to 813, which is, they are sold out of. So I'm going to have to find an alternate for 813, which that would be, in that case, it might end up being that 3840 that I was thinking. So since I can't get let me look right here. What was I thinking? Because the 813, which I think 3840 was a good alternate to 813. So we're going to put 3840 right here, and I'm going to see if they have 3840. And this is why it's good to have options, because if they're sold out of a color, then you need to be able to have an alternate that you can buy instead. So let's see if they have a 3840. And then the next one will be 3841. Okay, good. They do. So I can get the 3840, which is, I can actually get this one in the different size. Let me see. 3840 is going to replace 813, which is the right arrow, which is going to be, I'm looking on my canvas to see where it is. That one I think I could actually get away with not having a ton of, because really it's the check mark 162, the C, which is 3841. Those are going to be what makes up the majority of, oh, there's a little bit of it in here. Okay. So I will probably go ahead and I'm going to put just like the 2000 drills just because I might as well. And I will go from there. But it tells you that, let's see, the 2000 drills is roughly 10 grams. So I'm going to weigh these bags of those colors in a minute and see, but I'm going to add that one. So we added 3840, which is what we got. And now we're going to look at 3841. So we're going to come right here and go with 38.41, which are going to be the small little packs. So I wish they had all of these. The one downside, these are going to be acrylic drills and not resin drills, but I find that it doesn't really matter. For the round ones are acrylics. I find that doesn't really matter that much when it comes to round drills. If it was squares, you definitely want the resin. And I believe that they do sell their squares in resin. So we're going to add that one to the cart, and then I'm going to have to pull out the actual colors from in here and weigh them to make sure that we're good with how much we would actually need. So we're going to do that part next. All right. So I need to look at the yellows and the oranges. So here are the drills for this, and you can see there's some of them that I will need to get multiple bags of. 743 I've turned into 813, which is 38.40. I think that one I'll be fine with. Let me weigh it and I'll tell you how many grams I need for this. So that's 8 grams. So let me see, that one is 8 grams. So having a scale, this is my mailing scale, comes in handy when you were looking at stuff like this. Oh, it says 6 grams now. Okay, decided it wanted to be 6 grams. And I feel like I need to go get my actual kitchen scale, which is a little bit more accurate than this. I'm going to use my other scale. So we're going to ignore how janky this little scale is because I've had it for a very long time. And we're going to change it over to grams and make sure it zeroes out. This one's a little bit more sensitive. Okay, 8 grams, which is what it was initially. So we're going back to the 8 grams for that one. All right, next color is our AB 972, which looks like it's a little bit smaller. That one, it definitely looks like one bag of these from DP with Sparklers would work. So our 972 is going to be 7 grams, and our 972 is now AB 996. So this one is 7 grams. And then we're gonna come into here. Okay, we're good with one bag. I'm not going to weigh the, well, I should probably be in case I want to see what it's being replaced with. So 741, because if I'm at diamond drills, 741 is the 38.43, which is a special drill, which we're going to get as the actually 995. So that one I'm not going to weigh because I know that that one is one bag. So this is going to be one bag. So I don't need to weigh that one. And I think it's going to end up being the same thing for 740. Because 740 is just one bag for down there. So I'm not worried about that one. I'm still going to separate it out so you can see what colors we're swapping out. And then here is our 38.23, which is that H symbol, which is again, one bag is all we're going to need for that one. So these are the colors that we're keeping, and these are the colors we're replacing. Now here is where we have a big bag of 745. So this one is going to be 14 grams of 745, which is going to be 162. So that's going to be 14 grams. So that tells me exactly how much I need to purchase of this. And 744, we're going to have to buy a lot of this color because this is 3 big bags. So this one is 3 bags of 744, which is now going to be our 38.41, which is 35 grams. And I think that was the one that we could actually purchase in the bigger bulk packs. So now that I have done that and we know exactly how much we need, these are the colors that I'm keeping. I like the fact that this is not a high color count canvas. It makes it easy when I'm just swapping out the handful of colors. And now we have the colors that I'm swapping out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those are the 7 colors we're swapping out. We're going to get those in here just because I will then put those in my, spare drill storage. All right. So we can move our scale out of the way, and we're going to bring our this back because now I know what I need quantity wise of these 3 colors here. I'm going to be good with like a single bag for the other ones. I should have weighed the Actually, I should have weighed the AB 972, which looked like a chunky amount. I should probably weigh that one just in case. Let me see what that one is so I can know. We're going to put this back on flat surface. So that one is 8 grams of this one. Well, actually I did. Yeah, that was where it said 7 to 8. So that's going to be this one right here, 7 to 8 right there. I did actually weigh it. I was just thinking incorrectly. So now I can go ahead and figure out how many I need to purchase. All right, so we're going to come to my cart. And in the cart, we've got, my cart has the 3841, which comes in 200 drill quantities only. And that's going to be a 1 gram bag. So the 3841, which granted it's 50 cents for that tiny little bag, but the 3841, I need 35 grams, which means I need 35 bags. So we are going to come back over here, and 3841, I need 35 bags. Let's see if they have 35 bags. 31, 32, 3, 34, 35. So really not horrible for, you know, how many that is for those. But that was a lot that I needed, which was basically those 3 bags. It's always cheaper getting them in the bulk quantities. So I'm kind of annoyed that I have to buy it in, you know, the individual baggies. And then 3840 was one that we needed 8 grams. And let me go ahead and see what it says over here. 200 drills, so let's see, yep, so we're good with the 2000 drill bags. That's perfect. The 2000 drill bag is perfect for that one, because you can see there they have their list. And then the 162, I'm going to have to do the tediousness of, for 162, I'm going to have to buy, because it only comes in those 200 drill quantities. So that's going to be 1 gram. So I need 14 grams, which means 14 bags of that one. So we're going to come back over here and say here, and we're going to take that one up to 14. Could have been saved by just having the bulk size bags. You can also purchase drills like these off of like shops. I think you can potentially, sometimes you can find these off of Amazon. I haven't looked in a hot minute to see. I know you can buy like complete DMC sets, but we don't need a complete DMC set. We just need a handful of drills, which realistically, I probably, before I purchase, I'm going to go look through my spare drills and see if I have these spares in these specials. But this is how I would do it if I was planning out. Enhancing and swapping out colors is not something to just do like all of the time for every canvas. Enhancements, I'll do some basically based off of what I have in my hoard for specials. But when it comes to doing these swapping out colors, I'm swapping out basically half the drills in this canvas for different ones, as you can see. So I'm swapping out all of these yellows for blues, and that's not something that you would typically do. This will be the first time I've ever done that. I've done like random, like, oh, I don't like that color in that one little section, I've swapped that out with spare drills from the same canvas, but this will be my first time actually doing this full set. So you guys will have to stay tuned until April to see how it goes. I'm going to see what I have in my hoard for drills, both in these regular spare drills here. I'm going to see how much I have of these colors here. And then, so that way I can know if I need to actually buy it, or if I have enough in my hoard of spare drills to get by without having to actually purchase any of this. But this is where I would typically go. You can look on places like I've gotten drills from AliExpress before. I've gotten drills from Temu, because then I can buy larger quantities for cheaper. And, you know, you just have to wait a few weeks for those to get in. But I'm doing this now, so I have plenty of time to order drills and get them in. But anyways, that is the process. I know, very convoluted, but essentially your steps. Step 1 is you need to identify the drills, identify your drills that you're going to swap. Drills to swap. Step 2 is, my pen is dying on me. We're going to pick a different pen. So that was step 1, identify the drills that we want to swap out. Step 2, after I've identified the drills I want to swap out, which was this right here. So that was step 1. Step 2 is going to be coming over, and we're going to say, okay, what, identify new colors. So that's what we did right here. We picked out new colors right there. Once you've identified your new colors that you want, and I strongly, highly recommend getting something like this. This was I got off of Amazon from ArtDot. And it basically gives you a quick glance to look and see what all of the drills look like. And you can see them just at a quick eyeball to be able to say, what do I want to swap it out to be? Step 3, once I've done that, I need to figure out the specials. Because specials are not a one-for-one swap. So you could see how this was something where I was like, okay, I want this one, but I want that one to be in part of the painting. It's going to be 3841 up in here. The C up here is 3841, but then down here, the 3841 is going to be the pixie dust drill. So I need to say, okay, will a pixie dust 3841 work or not? And that's what comes in handy when you have that, figure out the specials via that spreadsheet, or that PDF that you can get from DP Sparklers off of their, it's pinned in the documents in their Facebook page. So that's what I did right here. So this was planning out that. And then once you've done that, because a lot of it depends on what's in stock, and you may have to go back and swap colors if things aren't in stock. But once you figure out what specials you want to add, which you can skip this, if you don't want to add specials, skip that step. If you're just doing a color swap, then you stick with that. Then from there, you need to figure out your quantity. So I know I'm scribbling for you guys, and that's because I'm writing on an uneven surface. But you're going to figure out your quantity, which is what I did here for the ones that I knew I was going to need. Like these, I'll just buy a bag of. Well, I'll look at my hoard and see, and then I'll buy a bag of if I don't have them. Here, this is where I was like, okay, what does it weigh? So what quantity do I need? So that way you know, okay, I need 35 grams, which from that website is going to be, 35 little 200 gram bags, which is annoying. 200 drill bags, each bag being a gram, which is annoying. So I'll have 14 bags of this and 35 bags of that, which is going to be a pain in the butt to getting out to put on the canvas. So that's why I want to see if I have those in my hoard already and how many I have, so I don't have enough of 3841. I can guarantee you that. I might have some I may have to look. I have multiple spare drills. So we'll see what I have and what works. But that's kind of your figure out your quantity, and then you can purchase the drills, and then you are good to go. And then when I kit up, I will have this cheat sheet because I know what I'm swapping out. I will clean it up a little bit, and I will say, okay, hey, so for we're going to use this because this will be a harder surface. So these are the symbols that I had: 7, 8, this one here, C, check mark, H, and J. And now I'm going to put what color I am actually using for them. So that way when I do it, I can say, okay, hey, this is what I'm actually doing. So this one is going to be AB 995, which actually is going to be AB 796. So this is going to be crystal AB 796. And then 8 is going to be crystal AB 995. And then we're going to come right here to this symbol, which was 813, which actually they were out of. So it's going to be 813 or 3840. Because if I have the 813 in my hoard, I'll just use that. And then we have the C, which is the 3841 is what I decided on for this one. So that one is going to be 3841. And I'm also doing in the pot, we are going to be doing the pixie dust or fairy dust 3841 for that one. And then we have our check mark, which was 162, which is going to be just 162. That one stayed the same. It didn't change with this back and forth. This is going to be like the final. H is the 3756 for right here. It's going to be the 3756, which I'm just doing the pixie dust or fairy dust, whatever you want to say, 3756. And then J was AB 996, which actually is going to be AB 995. So that's going to be the final. So that way I'm not confused by this being different than this because I had to swap things around. So yeah, that is what we ended up with. So now you can see these are the colors. I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 special drills that I'm adding in. And then I have the 3 regulars. So the 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna be the color swaps that I did for this, adding some special drills. You can do it without doing any of these enhancements. I could just pick the colors and ignore the special drills and just buy the colors like that. But you guys know me, I like to enhance. And that is the final set. And then, you know, so there's our steps. Identify the drills you want to swap. I know it took a long time to get to this point. Identify the new colors you're going to replace it with. Then you're going to figure out what specials you want to add via the DP with Sparklers sheet, because that's going to change some of these numbers. And then you're going to figure out the quantities that you need to buy. And then from there, you can purchase your drills. So that's our step-by-step on how to change this out. So now when I actually work on this canvas, I will definitely do a post review for you guys so you guys can see what it looks like when complete. I know this is a very long video and very confusing potentially for some of you guys, but I tried to make it as clear as possible. So you can see that is what we are ending up with our new symbols that we're replacing. And I will write it up. I will basically say this as the original, and then it'll go to that as the final is how I'll write it for the final, because I like to be able to look back at what it was supposed to be over here. So, but the symbol is plenty because I write the symbol too. But anyways, there you go. There you have it. That is what we do to swap out the colors in a canvas from non-special swaps as well. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.